Hey, this is Daniel from Boujuke Productions, and today we are here at a hotel. Now, this one is the Aloft Hotel, but this is me where I'm starting off with talking about hotels. So I wanted to discuss to you about the events of travel planning. So when you first started travel planning, from the first video, we talked about learning about how to research travel. So researching on a location or an event that you want to go to, or a type of an experience that you want to go to. I don't care what location you pick. Just pick a darn location and go. Now, once you've picked a location, you're going to pick your dates. Whatever date it is, you're going to start looking at hotels, or you're going to start looking at your Airbnbs, or you're going to look at motels or whatever the heck. And if you're really cheap, you're going to look for hostels. I get that. Now, there are so many accommodations. In the hospitality field, there are so many different ways to stay. Now, a hotel to me is just standard, bog standard hotel. Business hotel, standard, fancy, luxurious ones like the 5-star ones that I've been to. Sometimes they could be 1-star motels. Those are technically hotel, motel stuff. You can go to a Motel 6, and that's still considered a hotel. It's just a 1-star, basic. You're not going to get anything good there. When you started looking at hotels, you will want to put in a criteria. So this is where I like to go initially. Before I started working at hotels, I initially just used Booking.com or Expedia. Those guys, third-party travel platforms. So third-party travel platforms are basically platforms that you can go onto. They don't own any of the hotels that they're associated with. They're on a contract base that gets commission from your reservation for that hotel. So let's say you make a reservation at this hotel, the Aloft. The Booking.com will take a commission from the Aloft for making this reservation, but most of the money will be getting to go to the Aloft. Why would Aloft do that? It's because of how much traffic goes to these third-party sites. Sometimes these third-party sites give discounts and things, or they have their own loyalty program. So a lot of people will just go to those instead of being loyal to one single brand. You're looking at hotels, you might as well go with that first, because from there, you can actually use the filter section and filter through looking for what you want specifically. On Booking.com, there's so many different filters. You can filter it based on like your price. You can like drag the price thing on the filter side over to see what you want to do in terms of your budget per night. You can put in like based on a 4 or 5-star rating, or you can do it based on what type of hotel, right? As I said, hostel, motels, resorts, hotels. You can actually choose, and they have them categorized. They even have Airbnbs and things like that on there. Not a big selection on Booking.com compared to Airbnb, but you have a good sense of what's there that you may get. Prices, of course, might vary, of course. From there, you can also pick based on the review score. So Booking.com has its own little review score on there. So this hotel has like an 8.4 or something like that. I don't actually know it off the top of my head, but you'll see it right here somewhere. But anyways, that's what it is. So in terms of the hotels, you can go from there and start looking around. And then on there, you can also look at a map and see which one. Let's talk about areas too. You're looking at a hotel or whatever accommodation you want to be at. But let's say you're at a hotel, just as one like this. Where do you want to be? Because let's say about Los Angeles. In Los Angeles, LA is so big. It's so big that you cannot be everywhere at the same time. Unless you're going to be there for 2, 3, 4 weeks and stuff to visit everything. I get that. But initially, if you go there for a couple of days and stuff, you're not going to be able to visit every location in LA. So you can either choose to go to downtown LA, go towards more of the beach, like where Santa Monica is, or you can go down south towards more like Orange County and areas. There are so many different hotels all along. You can also go Northern California or Hollywood, or go to Anaheim, which is where Disneyland is. Your choices are going to be based on what kind of experience that you're looking for. And that's what I was informing in the last video, that your experience will dictate where you would want to stay. If you have a car, that actually it makes it easier. You'll be able to drive from your hotel to a location, but of course you have to think about renting a car and how to park, and we can get into that later. But going into hotels, that's where you'll start, and then from there, the thing that I would advise you to do after looking at all these hotels is think you should book a hotel based on what you want to get out of that hotel. If you want free breakfast, free parking, free everything with a pool for your kids and everything, then go find a hotel that has all of that. There are hotels like that. The Spring Hill Suites are great. They are family oriented. They are always suites. So suites don't count as like the one bedroom, like where it's separated. It's more like there's a bed or two beds and a sofa / living area plus like a kitchenette or something. So Spring Hill Suites, a Residence Inn, an Element, those guys, they will have like extended stay like stuff so that you can be there with your kids and maybe cook food and things like that in your room. If you're looking for a business hotel, you can always pick just a regular business hotel that has the needs. Like you have the bed, you have a work desk that you're at. That's it. That's all you need. You want 5-star hotel? If you're okay paying the big bucks for 5-star hotels, or a way to get it through some other means that we can talk about later, then you could do that. 5-star hotels, don't expect the rooms to be the best. Expect the whole hotel to be the best. Don't expect the rooms to be, with every single gadget and, things, and because this one has pretty nice, pillows like this. Look how nice this pillow is. But other than that, and the bathroom, that's it. I'm gonna go get my pillow. The 5-star hotels will always have like a spa, multiple restaurants, sometimes just one restaurant, but multiple restaurants usually, a gym, they might have certain facilities like a golf course, tennis court, basketball court, some type of venue maybe, like a conference center. Going into that further, your hotel experience can be fruitful if you sign up for the loyalty programs at the hotel. You say you're coming here to stay in a Marriott. It's your first time staying in a Marriott, or it's your first time at least paying for it. Some hotels charge for Wi-Fi. Like my hotel, it's a full-service 4-star hotel. It's a business hotel. They charge for Wi-Fi. What? Why do they charge for Wi-Fi? And I always experience where third-party guests don't have a Marriott number, so they get charged $14.95 per day for using Wi-Fi. What? Why? But that's just how it is. That's how they set it up. So as a third party, even though you're booking on a discounted rate, though I honestly don't think that different, you're going on to hotels.com, going on to Expedia, the price for a hotel is say $139, and you're like, wow, that's really cheap. This hotel is normally like $239 on the weekdays, but on the weekends it's like $139, $179, something like that. Wow, I'm getting a really cheap rate. Oh, I just realized Marriott.com shows that exact same rate. Where's the discount? The discount is based on the loyalty. If you're booking.com, you have something called a Genius rate. A Genius rate tends to be like 10-15% off depending on the hotel that you're booking at. That's covered by booking.com. That's why if you ever go to a hotel, they will never tell you the actual cost of the hotel price to you if you book a third party. Also, if you're requesting for a folio, you must contact that third party company to provide you the folio. They will not at the hotel provide you any folio other than things that you purchased at the hotel, like snacks, parking, if you use the spa, things like that, or the restaurant. Other than that, that's it. But those loyalty programs definitely help. It gets you some points, gets you other things. We'll go into further into budgeting about that. But it's a start. I advise you to uh, I advise you to make a hotel loyalty card or whatever loyalty membership program. They're all free. None of them are paid for. So what's the point? Because the more membership they have, the more they think the guests or customers such as yourself will come back. And we get that. We get a lot of return customers or return guests that stay at our hotel. Why? It's because they love the hotel. They love the amenities that they get. They love the branding, because it's not just our hotel. It's the whole brand, the whole Marriott brand. That's 31 brands of different hotels that you can stay at all around the world. As I said, pricing will vary. If you're somebody who just wants to, go and have a rest or whatever and sleep, and that's all you're gonna do at the hotel, great, good for you. Just get the cheapest thing you want. Just read the reviews, know what you're gonna get. Don't expect anything, and know that when you book a hotel that's $60 and it's a crap hole place like a Motel 6 or Super 8, and you're like, oh man, these walls are dirty and the bed is old and crinkly and there's rats in my room. Yeah, that's what you're gonna get. Okay, the rat thing is probably bad. They wouldn't have that. They have some standards at least. We're gonna touch up on a little bit about Airbnb. Airbnb is a little bit of a hit or miss because I don't use Airbnb as much, but all I know is that make sure you reach out to the host before you maybe not before you book, but if you book something, reach out to the host, get information from the host. It's very imperative to know who the host is, just so that you are ready for your able to get in, because sometimes they have special instructions, like you need to punch in a specific code into their door, or you need to get the key from a lockbox or something that has a code, or you might have to meet the host to get your key, like physically them exchanging it to you. That could happen, so you need to be in great communication between them. I had so many issues with that, where the host just wasn't there on property, and I get that, but they need to be open in communicating with you. Hostels, a little different. They're really cheap. They can go from $10 or less sometimes, mostly in Europe, to about maybe $50. Hostels is a hit or miss in terms of the quality, but you know what you're getting when you stay at a hostel. You're getting a bunch of people staying in one room or multiple rooms, all sleeping all basically on bunk beds next to each other. And if you like that style, you like that community, that socialization that you have, because a lot of hostels have bars and restaurants next door to them. They're usually in the heart of the city. Great, go for it. Choose that if you are just a solo backpacker or something. Just make sure that hostel has good reviews and that price point is what you want. There are bed and breakfasts. Those are really cool because they're run by mostly people who want to be in hospitality and want to do a business, but they just don't have the means to run a hotel specifically. Bed and breakfasts tend to be outside, so definitely if you're going to one, you should probably be driving. But they are a great experience, especially the ones that are in Europe. Lastly, I'm not going to go into it as much, but there's lodges, cabin resorts, there's tent locations that people can do. There are so many accommodations. If you can sleep somewhere, anywhere, that's an accommodation. That's the hotel side of this. I had such a long video. I know, I do apologize, but hotels are such an important aspect for me, especially because I love hotels. So we'll go into airlines in a little bit, but that's hotels for you.